Ouch. That was a wonderful shot, by the way. You'll see here that this heavy machine gun team basically was using armor-piercing rounds, pouring shots into this Puma, and unfortunately they all just get killed by the other Puma. But it's important to remember as allied commanders that heavy machine gun teams with armor-piercing rounds, very, very lethal against Pumas. That's absolutely a really good counter to Pumas, is to have, you know, have the ability to armor-piercing round them with your machine gunners. So, Armored Greyhound just kind of noodling around over here. Not really a lot going on in terms of real structured captures or anything like that. It looks like the Gladiator Riflemen are here. They should start back capping, but I think they're just going to kind of wander around. Giannis does have his does have a little bit of cool mines there, that sort of thing. Maybe we'll see a sticky bomb out of these Gladiator Riflemen, but the accomplished Panzer is going to really lay into them. Yes, they are retreating now, so sorry about that, guys, but gotta go. Anyhow, machine gun team here. Huge ball of troops coming out here from QQ SAS, and in the meanwhile, Hush Hush is really having a hard time. He's providing a lot of really good support, you know, with these snipers, and he's got a survival sniper here, a regular sniper, a destructive mortar team, machine gun nest, and that sort of stuff. But the right-hand side is just caving. All of his units are basically kind of stationary on the left, and there's really nothing going on over here at all. You can see just his engineers pretty much hanging out back here. Retreated destructive mortar team, that sort of thing. Pumas now just pressing all the way up here, but just look at the dominating map control going on here for the Axis players. Really, their early game is just perfect in terms of like which units they built and where they put them, and you know, they're having a little bit of trouble here on the left, but that's fine, man. You know, you don't have to 3-cap everybody. Just forcing the fight to happen over here on the left is to their advantage. Looks like Armored Bounty active for this single Armored Greyhound here. Meanwhile, this anti-tank gun is probably feeling a little bit out of place. Looks like Panzerfaust now. Boom! Oh, frontal armor shot here on the Panzerfaust. Sorry, on the Greyhound by the Panzerfaust wielding Katzenmeyer's Volksgrenadiers. And these guys are probably going to get up and try and grenade this anti-tank gun or something to that effect. We shall see, but looking quite exposed up here. Flamethrower engineers coming in, burning up the Fatherland HMG team that just got there. We have reactive artillery! Reactive artillery! Everybody get out of here! Lots of little small arms fire here, possibly taking out this anti-tank gun. Oh, there it goes. And the rest of these units, oh my god! Standing around a little too close, not quite noticing that the reactive artillery was up there. Really in danger of losing his Greyhound as well. That looks like it's going to get out of the range just in time. And the Axis now, with versus units out here on the field, are going to have control over here on the left. So, what can we do? Okay, so we've got a nice damaged engine accomplished Panzer here. Anti-tank gun firing away from the back. And Wilson's Rifleman, Bazooka Joe, maybe going to take a shot? Nope, never mind. Totally beat to it. And, oh no, do we have a rocket barrage coming at this area? Sniper, you're a little bit out of position. Oh, rocket barrage landing all over the place. Doing a little bit of damage, just kind of thumping the ground mostly. You can see those nice looking concussive blasts kind of flying around here. Doing a little bit of damage here to this one Rifleman squad, but nothing too bad there. So the Allies are really dropping in points now. They are 3-capped. And in a lot of danger of losing this map. Let's take a look at the tactical map. You can see they only have this tiny control over the left-hand corner of this map so far. Everything on Hush's side of the map has been completely capped, and they're just kind of have the most light control over the center right now. Really tricky position for everybody to be in. Accomplished Stug in the center. I like seeing the Knight's Cross creeping around here. A bunch of Knight's Cross. You'll see that Sweeb does that a lot. He just kind of goes for the hardcore Knight's Cross. If you guys aren't familiar with Knight's Cross, they're just really vicious anti-infantry troops. There's only 3 of them, but you can see by the way that they just dress for success. They've got automatic rifles, really good against infantry. So if your allies are going armor, which as we can see, Makaay already has his Panzer with the army item to give it max health by 16% and the free armored skirts abilities, but in addition to that, it's already Vet 1, so he is researching that. And these mines here are from Makaay. Alright, so Sweep just kind of moving around here, putting some pressure on stuff. I mean, they're great against infantry, but they are amazingly good against... Check out that. They even can kind of shrug off a sniper round every now and then. Those guys are tough. Single flare there to illuminate the battlefield a little bit. And the Knight's Cross just charging in, and really, I think a lot of new players have... sorry, I was trying to hear. I think I heard a V1. Is there a V1 anywhere yet? Yes, maybe. Maybe no. Oh, V1 goes off! Oh, it's so hard to hear sometimes because I'm talking so loud and my voice and my sound is turned down, but I was like, was that a V1? You gotta have ears like a hawk, as I once said. You know, that doesn't make any sense, of course. So anyhow, during all of that, the it looked like the poor oh, good old landmine shot there. I was gonna say the poor Knights crossholders took a little bit of damage, but whatever, man. They're really beefy. I think oftentimes new players kind of underestimate exactly how beefy these guys are, but sometimes you almost have to consider them like an Ostwind or something in terms of their effectiveness against troops. You know, I often hear players complaining about the fact that, like, oh, my 2 paratrooper squads versus 1 Vet 2 Knights Cross, and the Vets 2 Knights Cross, you know, kill us and don't take any casualties or anything. So the Allies are stabbing all the way out here in the left-hand flank quite well. But really, it's just because the Axis don't care. I don't think they're really putting any effort into defending this area. Oh, and killing off the rest of these engineers hanging out down there. And we do have another Panzer just kind of chilling here. So at this point, it looks like the Axis have gone full on into just producing armor. We can see that each player has a Panzer command. Each player is pumping stuff out. And the Allies are having a lot of trouble because, as you can see, our 2 armored commanders don't have anything they can do just yet. So they are doing the proper counter, which is anticipating the armor. And, you know, I don't actually even understand how this survived. This was the medic station back there. I wonder if that was blown up or not. But either way, certainly does look like it survived a V1 hit. It could just be... who knows? I'm not even going to try and worry about that right now. We got a flare going on back there. We've got a good amount of forward HMG teams, but lots of nice-looking flanking going on here. This Fatherland HMG team just going to get annihilated. I'd be surprised if even one of them gets away. Nope. Done. And big old infantry push here. And look at this. Oh, point-blank anti-tank shots going on here. Oh, out of control! So it looks like there were 2 Pumas here. They had a little bit of fighting going on with this anti-tank and then lost it. So that's too bad. Meanwhile, accomplished Panzer moving on out. Just kind of get sticky bombed up. I think it's always important to kind of charge Panzers and overwhelm them, even if you don't really have much you can do to them. Because you kind of want to drive them back. You're kind of herding them along, you know what I mean? But just look at the production. I mean, what with the amount of econ they have from taking over the entire map, you can see that Makaay has got his own hero accomplished Stug, and he's got double Panzers, and all of his allies are doing the same. We saw, it looked like a Schultz's Panther was out here. This is another hero Panther unit. This thing, you know, amongst other interesting abilities, it has an overdrive ability that allows it to kind of charge forward. And here's just a straight-up accomplished Panther here for Sweeb. So all these guys doing pretty well. It looks like still plenty of Knights crossholders out there for him. And we've got Berger's Panzer Pioneers. Oh, Johann, be careful! Be careful! Oh, poor Johann. He's just running for his life. It's okay, though. He'll be fine. So, QQ Sauce now pushing forward into the right-hand flank here. And, nope, he's going to turn back around and just go nuts. He's got his Rangers out on the field right now with their bazookas. Sticky Bomb plus Bazooka. Going to be doing a little bit of damage here, but look at this squad! The triple squad of Knights Crossholders. By the way, they do have the army item to reduce cost by 16%. I know it's almost impossible to keep track of army items in this kind of situation, but just look at these guys. These guys are just so tough. Backed up by tanks, a whole fleet of these dudes just running around. Really, really have to practically treat these guys like Ostwinds. They are very vicious against troops. They have no problem killing everybody. Look at this focus fire here, just completely taking out that mortar team and just charging through. So I do like the synergy between armies here, if you'll note the fact that one player definitely went for infantry, in fact anti-infantry, and everybody else kind of went for armor. But there's a good amount of heroes and stuff still flying out there. So it looks like for the most part Verse has pushed forward here on the left using his Schultz Panther, contracted Pioneers, and just kind of capping all this stuff. I'll be curious to see if he's actually going to build anything with them or if he's just using them to repair. A little bit of fighting going on here. Looks like the anti-tank gun was nice enough to blow the cover away from the front of the rifleman. But for the most part, the Allies are still really stuck in this position here. They're just kind of barely holding on to this territory here. Not ever going to cap this. The Knights Cross are putting too much pressure on them. Knights Cross pretty wounded here, running away. You can see with the flare and all that, these guys are pretty exposed. But for the time being, they're doing okay on that side of the flank. And I just love how this looks. Look at this. This reminds me of like a scene from like Empire Strikes Back or something, but World War II style. Just look at like this whole army just lying in wait, just in reserves. And I think some people might be tempted to be like, oh, he's wasting those troops by not using them. But no, man, these are the reserves. Like the real way to fight these kind of wars is you stab out with your small armies and you find out where they are, and then you attack in with your whole squad that you've had in reserve once you see where everybody's. Look at this. I'm telling you, man. This looks like Empire Strikes Back. You just got like all these vehicles just waiting around to go, all these different special units, big blobs of troops already and lined up. So he's getting ready to maneuver those into position, but there's a big, massive force of tanks there, and the Allies need to figure out something to do about that. Meanwhile, this medic station is continuing to, do its thing there. No problems. And I do like the fact that we're starting to see more and more anti-tank guns on the field. This is definitely okay in this situation. In other games, I've criticized players for getting anti-tank guns when it was silly, but when you have a blitzkrieg-style attack ready to attack, and I mean literally blitzkrieg in the sense of lightning war, armor coming out of nowhere, definitely is a good idea to have lines of anti-tank guns that can take those things out. Looks like the riflemen out here are able to take care of things on the right-hand side. And we do have a Calliope in the field. Hey, by Hush Hush now, just kind of spraying down the place. Okay, so this will change the battle a little bit. I didn't point out this Nebelwerfer here in the center, but I do enjoy that. But so now that the Allies are starting to get their armor abilities online, they're going to have a resurgence in their effectiveness. But they just kind of have to hold on until then. Pretty good use here of machine guns, and anti-tank gun is really in danger. Duffy's anti-tank gun, be careful! See me like sitting here frantically trying to select this unit. Oh, but nice little shots going in there. Crossfire by double snipers too. Ooh, that's pretty brutal. I want to see if they're going to take some more shots. Yes, they do, and they pretty much completely eliminate that squad. Meanwhile, Duffy's anti-tank gun is backing off here, and here comes the giant panzer push! Oh my word, I've been kind of waiting for this. So, notice once again, he's got reserves here. He actually has, there are still tanks back here. This is pretty much a spearhead entirely by these panzers. So, Vet 3 panzers, they have MG42 gunners on top, the big old barrels, and they've got, the extra layer of armor on, that sort of thing. Pushing right in, you'll see that the first tank took a little bit of damage attacking that anti-tank gun, but now they're in a great flanking position. Looks like Duffy's anti-tank gun swiveled around to get one shot off and now is dead. And the Calliope is taking sort of an awkward angle here, but, kind of doing a little bit of damage. You can see, looks like these Knights Cross just don't even care, man. They're getting, shot from all angles and whatever. So, but the total vast amount, this is an anti-tank gun here with HVAP rounds, by the way. So, high velocity armor-piercing rounds on the anti-tank gun, which we don't always see, but it's pretty cool. And now, big old surge of infantry now counterattacking this sort of stuff. So, luckily, they only attacked with 3 tanks. They still have plenty of tanks here in reserve that they can use. But that was kind of just like an investigatory attack. Went up, swept around, took out a bunch of anti-tank guns, but you'll see that they were real quick to get their anti-tank guns back online. Propaganda being used to slow these troops down. Not too bad, but still kind of struggling to get out of there in time. And oh, some serious damage going on. Rear armor hits here from the bazookas on these Rangers. Ooh, poor guy.